let's go. The train has taken off from the station, and the LSU-Alabama battle in Tuscaloosa, the hype is building right now. That train is picking up speed. That's going to be a huge game. Cannot overstate that. In 3 weeks, that is the SEC West Super Bowl. That's what we're calling it. Just like it was last year when Alabama came to Tiger Stadium, and the winner of that game, LSU, ended up winning the SEC West. I think it's going to be the same thing this year. So Alabama's in the lead right now. They're 6-1, 4-0 in conference. LSU is right behind. Ole Miss is behind LSU technically because they're 5-1, but only 2-1 in conference play. They still have to play a lot more of that conference competition down the stretch here, and they're going to see Auburn next on the road. So, could be a tough one. Probably not, but maybe. And then they still have Georgia on their schedule as well, on top of A&M's on there, I believe, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. So games they should win, but there's games they could lose on that schedule still. Why that's important is because they still have the head-to-head against LSU. So if Ole Miss wins every game on their schedule the rest of the way, and Alabama loses to LSU per se, they would go to the SEC title because they beat LSU head-to-head, and they have the same record, same conference records. So got to keep them in the mix. And Texas A&M, I think, is eliminated from this race. They're now 4-3, 2-2. They lose at Tennessee, a game that I thought they would win. So barring something crazy happening, they've lost to Alabama straight up. They've lost to Ole Miss. No, they haven't played Ole Miss yet, excuse me. But they will play Ole Miss at some point. And LSU plays A&M in the final week of the season. I thought that was going to be the SEC West Super Bowl, but apparently not. So Alabama's in the lead right now. Again, LSU will play them in 3 weeks. They really sleepwalked to the finish line against Arkansas. And Arkansas is a sneaky good team. They're 2-5, but they're power rated in some people's top 30. They've lost a lot of close games, like one-score games. They could easily be 5-2 right now. They could have won this game against Alabama. So they certainly don't look like a juggernaut. Like, Bama was up 24-6. You're like, all right, Nick Saban's going to get his team rolling. By the time LSU comes, they're going to be top-notch, the best version of themselves. I don't know if that's ever going to come, or if we've already seen the best version of Alabama, because week after week, they're just putting up stinkers, to be honest with you. Yeah, they got a nice win against Texas A&M against a backup quarterback and Jimbo Fisher in a very ugly game where they kind of got lucky when their receiver caught a pass. He was down, but he wasn't. Point is, they stuck out of there with a win. They could have easily lost that game. They are not a juggernaut. Their offense is limited. We've talked about it before. In total offense, they're like in the 60s or 70s. They're not prolific. LSU is prolific. Their offensive line is vulnerable. They're giving up sacks left and right. They can't pass protect much. And they just play undisciplined, especially recently. And you don't hear that usually about a Nick Saban coach team. They're getting penalties. They're doing stupid stuff. They're getting false starts, things like that. So they are very beatable. And I had them as a 9-3 team coming into the season. They could certainly still be a 9-3 team once the season ends. And I see LSU trending up. I see Alabama either trending down slightly or just remaining stagnant. I'm going to do a segment pretty soon here just telling you and showing you how this team is different. This LSU team is so different from week 1 to, what are we in, week 7 now? 2 completely different teams. And at this point of the season, when you got your biggest games still to come, you want to be ascending upwards. And that's what LSU is doing right now. And by the time 3 weeks comes, I just heard Brian Kelly to his media availability. They're resting guys who are injured. They are getting ready for that game in 3 weeks. That game is the season. You win it, everything you wanted to accomplish still in your destiny. Like, you control your destiny to accomplish those things. You lose, well, the season's over. But we'll have that discussion if that discussion needs to be had. So, as I said, Ole Miss is still hanging around, but they've got some tough games coming up. If they lose one, they're done. And if LSU wins out, they got it. So it's the SEC West Super Bowl. That's what we're calling it. And just start getting excited about it because LSU is going to beat Army. Then they're going to go to the bye week, heal up. And then it's all in. All the chips in the center of the table for that game in Tuscaloosa. And I cannot wait, even though it's still 3 weeks away. Like, whew, may as well be here tomorrow. That's how excited I am about it. You should be that excited too. Let's go.